There are moments in history when words do more than speak. They awaken. They shake the soul. They remind humanity of who we are meant to be. Today is not just another day. Today is a reminder that every human being is born with value, purpose, and an unbreakable right to dream. You were not created by accident. You were not placed on this earth without meaning. Inside you lives a fire that cannot be measured, a strength that cannot be defined, and a destiny that cannot be stolen. Even when the world tries to convince you otherwise, your existence itself is proof that you matter. Too many people walk through life believing they are small. Too many people have been taught to accept limits that were never meant for them. Too many hearts have been trained to stay silent when they were meant to speak. But silence has never changed history. Fear has never built a better future. Only courage has. Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is the decision to move forward despite fear. Courage is standing tall when everything inside you wants to hide. Courage is choosing hope when despair feels easier. There was a time when people were told they were less because of the color of their skin, the place of their birth, or the size of their dreams. They were told to know their place. They were told to wait. They were told change was impossible. But something powerful happens when ordinary people decide they will no longer accept injustice. Something unstoppable is born when human beings choose dignity over defeat. You see, oppression survives on silence. Injustice survives on apathy. But truth survives on voices. And once a voice is raised with conviction, it becomes impossible to ignore. Every generation is given a responsibility, not just to live, but to improve the world they inherited. Not just to exist, but to leave a mark. Ask yourself this question: what will your generation be remembered for? Will it be remembered as the generation that watched problems grow and did nothing? Or will it be remembered as the generation that stood up, spoke out, and changed the course of history? Change never begins in governments. Change never begins in institutions. Change begins in hearts. It begins in minds. It begins in individuals who decide enough is enough. Never underestimate the power of one person who refuses to give up. One voice can inspire a movement. One idea can shake a nation. One dream can transform the future. But first, you must believe that you are worthy of dreaming. Some of you have been told your dreams are too big. Some of you have been told your goals are unrealistic. Some of you have been told to be practical. But history was never made by practical people. History was made by dreamers. History was made by believers. History was made by people who saw what did not yet exist and declared it must exist. Dreaming is not foolish. Dreaming is an act of courage. When you dare to dream, you declare that your present circumstances do not define your future. You declare that pain will not have the final word. You declare that struggle will not write your ending. You declare that darkness will not defeat light. There will be obstacles. There will be resistance. There will be moments when you feel tired, discouraged, and alone. But remember this: every great movement faced opposition. Every powerful idea was once ridiculed. Every meaningful change was once called impossible. If people criticize you, you are probably doing something right. If people doubt you, keep moving. If people laugh at your dream, hold on to it tighter. Because the ones who change the world are rarely applauded at the beginning. They are often ignored. They are often mocked. They are often misunderstood, but they persist. Persistence is the bridge between vision and victory. You do not need permission to become great. You do not need approval to chase purpose. You do not need validation to walk in your calling. You only need belief. Believe that your life matters. Believe that your voice counts. Believe that your actions have power. The world does not change overnight, but it does change when people commit to daily acts of courage. Change happens when you choose kindness instead of hate. Change happens when you choose love instead of fear. Change happens when you choose unity instead of division. Hatred cannot drive out hatred. Only love can do that. Darkness cannot defeat darkness. Only light can do that. You cannot fight injustice by becoming unjust. You cannot defeat cruelty by becoming cruel. You cannot build peace with violent hearts. True strength is controlled power. True power is love in action. Love is not weakness. Love is the strongest force in existence. Love has broken chains. Love has healed nations. Love has ended wars. When you choose love, you choose to rise above the lowest instincts of humanity. When you choose love, you choose to become a builder instead of a destroyer. You were not born to hate. You were not born to divide. You were born to create. You were born to unite. You were born to lift others as you climb. Look around you. There are people who feel invisible. There are people who feel forgotten. There are people who feel voiceless. Be the voice for those who cannot speak. Be the hand that lifts someone when they fall. Be the example of what humanity can be. You do not have to be perfect to make a difference. You do not have to be famous to change lives. You do not have to be powerful to be impactful. You only have to care. Small acts done with great love can transform the world. A kind word can save a life. A listening ear can restore hope. A single decision can start a revolution. Never forget that your character matters more than your comfort. Doing what is right will not always be easy. Standing for truth will not always be popular. Choosing integrity will not always be rewarded immediately. But in the long run, character always wins. Your legacy is not what you own. Your legacy is not what you earn. Your legacy is how you treated people. Years from now, nobody will remember your salary. They will remember your kindness. They will remember your courage. They will remember whether you stood on the side of justice. So stand tall. Stand firm. Stand for what is right even when you stand alone. Because you are never truly alone when you stand with truth. Inside your heart lives a dream. Protect it. Inside your soul lives a purpose. Honor it. Inside your spirit lives a fire. Feed it. Do not let the world extinguish what was placed inside you by design. The future is not something you wait for. The future is something you build. And it starts with what you choose today. Choose hope. Choose courage. Choose love. Choose to be the generation that refused to give up. Choose to be the voice that spoke when others stayed silent. Choose to be the light in dark times. Because when enough people choose light, darkness has no choice but to retreat. Believe in your dream. Walk in your purpose. Stand in your truth. And never forget, you were born to make history.